Good afternoon. This is Akos Kovac, the Economic Development Planner for the Southeastern Arizona Organization of Governments, otherwise known as SEGO. And today we have with us Margaret Dillard, the owner and operator and business brain behind Prism Communication, who is the SEGO Turning Point February newsletter sponsor. She is the first sponsor of one of our newsletters, and we're very happy to have Margaret with us today. Part of the fulfillment of the sponsorship is not a duty, but a joy of the EDP to produce a YouTube video so that we can highlight the people who are sponsoring the newsletter. So now it's my turn to turn the camera on Margaret. Welcome, Margaret.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So tell us, what would be the most important thing that you want the viewing audience to know about Prism Communication?
The most important thing they should know is that how we can help businesses succeed. And we do that through three areas. Those are website and blog creation, social media marketing platforms, and videography services.
Awesome. So how do you define success?
That always changes. Years ago, when I first set up my business, success was defined as being there for my kids when they needed me. So the most important thing was if I got a phone call from them, I locked the door and walked away, and that was success. I could still serve my customers, but I could be with my kids at the same time. Now, today, more of it is about helping people succeed in business in an ever-changing environment that is challenging.
Good answer. And the environment changes every day. So
all the time.
How do you keep up on technology?
We at Prism spend 1 hour for about every 3 of our working hours in training. We do that through, I'm taking classes through a community college, but we also do online training through places like lynda.com. And a lot of the social media platforms also have training, like YouTube has their own and Facebook has their own.
But you're not charging the customer for that extra hour of your homework.
I don't charge the customer, no. It's a service that I have to provide in order to serve people and be unique.
Exactly. So when do you recommend a person or a company or even an organization, when do you think that they should post comments to Facebook and Twitter?
It varies with the client. We try to customize that. There's a few rules that are common, but basically it depends on the customer, and they need to know who they're marketing to and when they're going to be online. So maybe a restaurant would want to catch hungry people before lunch, but a business who is catering to someone who works might catch them just before lunch or just before 5 o'clock.
Good point. So in your realm of helping your customers and doing things for your services for your customers, which entity or which company do you find yourself recommending most often, and why? Interestingly
enough, I recommend SEGO most often. And the reason why is because they cover much of the same area that I cover. It's within about 2 hours of our home base, everywhere that they cover. Their scope of services is really big, and it appeals to a lot of my clients.
Well, that's a nice answer. I appreciate the answer, but you're right. SEGO does provide a lot of different services, and it's good to know that you and several others do make recommendations like that. Well, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned over the 12 past months?
We kind of already touched on that. What I have learned is that you have to keep learning. No matter what business you're involved in, the environment's much more challenging than it has been in the past, and you have to set yourself apart. And so constantly learning your craft, your business, is really important, and it will set you apart and give you advantages that maybe your competition doesn't have.
Precisely. Well, once again, Margaret, we thank you for sponsoring the February issue of the Turning Point. I'm sure that we'll be able to put a little log or login or whatever you call it. What do you call that? A web link into the YouTube video, so people can go to the February issue. And we thank you for your sponsorship.
Thank you so much.